welcome to Jigsaw Shed. Now it is still cold out in the workshop, but I decided to do a little quick project and I grabbed the oak spindle from underneath the workbench, popped it on the lathe and started roughing it out. So once roughed, I decided I was going to put a tenon on each end so it could go on my chuck, but then realised that actually the spindle is the right size for it and I shouldn't make it any smaller. Now, I needed to proportion a piece for the body and a part for the head, but I couldn't decide where I was going to make my cut initially, so I kept moving around. Now this bit is in real time, as this is the first time I'm using my EasyWood parting tool. Bought it over at Herald and finally got it out of its box. But I was really impressed with how it cut. The cut is slightly wider than the shaft, so it clears it away, so no chance of jamming up in there, but really nice and quick to do as well. So for the body I decided to do it in two stages, the first part being an off-center turn to create the tail section before I put it in my chuck to turn the rest of the body. I found that the bowl gouge worked better for this, as it was heavier than my spindle gouge and just withstood the air to wood vibrations a lot better, and I got a cleaner cut that way. You will see I will try my spindle gouge a bit and then give up and go back to this. It would also help if I sharpen my spindle gouge, which I did do at a later part. So once I was happy with the cut I had, I just sanded it quickly down to 400 grit. And then just using my skew chisel, I just cleaned off the end of the tail. And we can switch over to the chuck now and continue with a on-center turn. So I'm taking it down as far as I possibly can, with it remaining stable still, enough so that I can sand it. And again, the sanding is to 400 grit. And yes, the off-center bit did cause it to fly off quicker during parting than I intended. So now switching back over to do the head of the bird as well. So using the other piece that I'd cut off, firstly starting with the beak as that's a smaller bit, and then working on the shape of the head. So I could then use my Dremel with the sanding drums to clean away the nibs where it was parted off, but also just add some extra detail into some of the areas as well. And then just deciding where I'm going to put the head and creating a flattened area. Now it would probably have been easier to put it up to a disc sander or something like that, but the Dremel worked well and quick for what I needed. And then I continued with various bits for the Dremel so that I can create some definition for the wings, but also create some texture on the body that you will see shortly. So the speed at which I had the disc did build up some heat and cause some burning, but I wasn't worried about this, and you will see why shortly. And that is why. I used the Versaflame to really darken up the chest area, but then I also did lightly scorch the rest of the bird, as it highlighted the grain and just gave the bird a bit more character as well. Now, doing the head and the beak, I could be very precise with the Versaflame to make sure that I was only really scorching the beak, and then just do a light scorch over the rest of the head again as well. Now you will see I left the tail area clear, as sometimes you will see with birds they've got a lighter area underneath compared to the top, but that was what I decided to go for. And then just obviously sanding off the loose suit up to 400 grit again, just to give it a nice smooth finish. And then using O3 adhesives, thick CA glue, I could glue the head and the body together into the position I wanted it. And then using my Versatip, just used that to create the eyes. Worked really well for that, and that nib was a perfect size for it. And then just Chestnut Products finishing oil to do the final finish on the bird. Well, there you go, there's a little chap. Had a lot of fun making him, and really enjoyed the two-stage process with it, turning the body as well. I think the off-center turning gave it a really nice profile there as well. May play around with that for the next one and see about changing the shape of the tail. But as I say, a bird in the hand is better than two in a bush, and take for granted what you have. And mine was definitely the time, because it is really cold out here and I do not have time for big long projects at the moment. So yeah, really pleased with that, and may have to make a few more. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you've not done so yet. And I hope to see you next time. Take care.